folks. Let's check and make sure everything sounds good, it's working good, and all that good stuff. Sounds good, it's working good. Alright, sounds like it is. Welcome to the stream, folks. I am currently eating some ramen noodles, one of my favorite things to eat. And talking about some goals that I've made for the year. So if you're interested in ramen noodles, here's the way I've made it for years. The backstory is my grandma actually made me and my brother, and I think one of my cousins, ramen noodles a lot as a kid. And we ended up, got to where we called it brown soup, and that was our name for it. Grandma making some brown soup, and there's what it looks like. Okay, so I always crumble it up, put it in there with the broth and everything. I mix it as the package instructions say to do so, and basically I boil the water, crumble this up. When the water's boiling, while it's boiling, I add 5 key ingredients. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. After the water's boiling, I'll put the packet of the noodles in there. Set the packet aside. And by the way, the only kind that I like mainly is what I've always grew up on, and that's pork ramen by, I think it's Maruchan, something like that. And so after it's boiling, pour the noodles in there, stir it, turn the water down, the temperature down to medium-low, where it's just simmering a little bit. And usually I just, after about a minute or two, I stir it again. Then I stir it one more time, and usually that's all it takes. It takes about 3 to 4 minutes to get done. Take it off the burner, turn the stove off, and then add the packet. That's key. Add the packet afterwards, just like it says in the directions. Now, every now and then, I'll leave the noodles whole and eat it with chopsticks and just sip the broth. But this is the main way I like it, and I love it with oyster crackers. That's my main favorite. So 5 key ingredients I put in all my ramen. Okay, number 1, in any order. Number 1, Italian seasoning, and I usually measure by a couple of these. That's it. Same thing with onion powder. Hold it over the pot. Do a couple of these shakes. You're done. So that's 2. Number 3, fresh ground cracked pepper. I got my pepper mill, 2 cracks on kind of medium coarse. That goes in there. 3, let me think about that. Oh, garlic powder, or what I usually use lately and what I've been using for years is tiger seasoning. Love that stuff. The powder tiger seasoning, which has garlic, dried garlic, and other things in there. Once again, a couple dashes. That's it. The last ingredient is the secret ingredient. I've been using this for years and love it, and that is Emerald's Essence, the original blend, the orange stuff. I just usually try to, dash that in there, till it gets just a little bit orange, maybe a little bit more orange. That's going to be, to taste. Do all that while the water's boiling before the noodles are in there. That is the best way to eat brown soup, ramen noodles. So, thought I'd just put that in there. And I've been wanting to live stream forever, just as something to do. And I haven't been able to lately because I've been so busy doing other stuff. And there's something going on with my thumb here. I think it's a loose piece of skin. It's really tender. Every time I hit a piece of fabric, it pulls it back and makes it bleed. Anyway, so I kind of wanted to just go over some of the goals that I'm working on for the year. Okay, I think I see it right there. I could just a second, man. That is. Whew. Can usually get those out, but that's in there good. So I've got my writing notebook, and it's just a simple bullet journal that I bought off Amazon. Paperage, I think is the name of the brand. Paperage, yes. So if you would like to shop on Amazon, person streams because one of the streams has an invalid so-and-so. Okay, whatever. Anyway, if you'd like to get some support this channel and get some things off Amazon, go to ericbeatty.com/shop, and that will take you to my Amazon link. It's an affiliate link, and I get a small commission from that for you to show your support. So I appreciate that. Or if you want to, shop some of my tabs and Helix presets and things like that, you can go to ericbeatty.com/store, and that will take you to my online courses page, tabs page, Helix presets, all that good stuff. So this is what I've been using lately, and last year I wanted to do just a regular planner things, so where it's all laid out in a grid, weekly planner, monthly planner, everything's laid out. And I found that I tried 2 different ones, and I found that I couldn't really get into it. And so this year I'm going to try to go back to the bullet journal method, which is basically you can create your own layouts and things like that. And so I'm going to try that. But for this year, I've got some goals here that I've set down. I've got a list of what worked, what didn't, more of, less of. That's kind of standard that I do every year. What worked, what didn't, more of, less of. Okay. You can also do a SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I've done that just about every year for the longest, and I decided not to worry about that this time. And then I put a list of what I want to accomplish in 2025. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything here I don't mind sharing? Actually, yes, there's one little spot there, so I will not share that. I'll read them off to you, though. So, in no particular order, the things I would like to accomplish this year include get a second interview with Marcos Foley. And I've interviewed him once before. It was right at the beginning of the pandemic in 2020. And amazing player. I've been working on several of his songs, as you can you've probably seen on some of the updates here that I've left on YouTube. Some videos and stuff I've uploaded. If you haven't seen those, then that may be just for my YouTube members only. And I do YouTube members off-site, so that way I can keep a greater percentage of the proceeds of the profits. And that is at ericbeatty.com/YouTube members, all one word, if you'd like to sign up for that. So, the first thing I want to do was interview Marcos Foley again. He's come out with another album since my last interview. He switched over to Charvel Ambassador shortly after my interview. He's resigned from PFM to pursue his individual artist career. Tons of stuff seems like to have happened in the last now 5 years since I've interviewed him. So it's high time to get him on here again. I've had a few requests for him to be on here again, and I want to do that. And my screen is going weird colors because of my... There we go. It's better. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I just started writing things I want to accomplish in no particular order. So before we get to the next one, let's take another couple bites of ramen. And another thing about ramen is the way I used to eat as a kid, my grandma always got onto me for it. I would always just put it in my mouth just like I did then. A couple of tongue chews, a couple of those, and then swallow. And I would I'd love this stuff. I would lap it up like a dog. She'd get on to me and say that I'd make myself sick. But that's just the way I always did. I never made myself sick. So, next, I want to finish my studio shed and begin operating from it. Ever since we moved here 3 years ago now, I think. No, 4. 2021 is when we, I think, officially moved here. Since we did that, I've been downstairs in this basement, and I am so ready to get out of here. I want to see the daylight. There's no windows. It's all just me down here. And so I've been wanting to get out to that shed for the longest. And I've been working on it. There's a lot of stuff that's already been completed, but there's quite a few things that haven't been yet. And I'm sorry I haven't been updating or anything like that. What I'd like to do is do it like a montage of all the images I've collected and I've taken. I've been documenting it through pictures, taking pictures of the things. And what I want to do is create a huge video, maybe me talking about the studio and all this other stuff, while the videos are kind of flashing on the screen. What I want to do is when I get moved in and when I'm ready and sat down and actually operating from there, that's what I want to do, is just create a big montage video for it. The electric wiring is done. The electricity is active. It's going. All the foam has been sprayed for the insulation. The walls have been painted. I've recently installed a mini air conditioner / heating / fan / dehumidifier unit, which I've been having issues with, but hopefully that's fixed now. So all really that's left. Oh, and the lighting's in there. I've got special lights in there that I can control with Bluetooth and different things like that. All that's really left for me to move in is two things. One is to get my guitar wall hung, and I'm going to do a special way. I've got a special way of doing that I'm going to kind of keep hidden until, if I don't blab it out sometime accidentally, I'm going to keep it, a mystery until it actually arrives, until it's there in the studio. And the other thing is my main desktops. As the way the studio is laid out is basically like any other shed, is a work shed. And when you go inside, imagine you're going inside. As you go in to the, let's see, if I'm doing this, that looks like the left. That looks like the right. Okay, so it's going to be your right and my left. As you go in the door, you look to the left. Do I have that right? Yeah, you look to the left. Okay, let me do this right. This is going to be weird. You look to the left, and you have this L desk all along the side wall and all along the front wall. And along the front wall, there's a big window, and there's a window on the side, but the main window is in the front. Underneath that slab is another shelf the same length, and it's particle board, basically. Okay, so and then as you go in and you go to the right, then you have on the back against the full wall is what I'm going to use as my work desk, my workbench. It's the same length, and I've already used it several times for changing guitar strings and working on guitars and things like that. And that's what I'm going to use that for. But each one of these slabs, I want to have. Lately, I've been looking on some different sites with some what's the word I'm looking for? Hardwoods, some live edge. That's what I'm trying to say. Before I wanted butcher block, but then when I seen the live edge, I was like, I gotta have it. And I went through hoops after hoops to get the wood that I wanted. And I'm still going to have to joint them together and glue them together to make one big slab of what I need. So I'm going to get some. I've got some live edge, and right now it's been curing, baking in a kiln for the last 2 months or so, and hopefully that's almost done. And when that's done, we can cut it to size, get the right pieces measured and cut, and then I'm going to lay those on top of and mount them to those desktops, each one, so that I have some very nice wood to work on, to look at whenever I'm in the studio. And I'm actually going to use a beeswax kind of formula to oil it and keep it like a natural oil instead of finishing it. Now, with the guitar wall, I'm actually going to well, let's just keep that a secret. Just about revealed some stuff there. I started to get a little lukewarm, and I've got to hurry up and finish that. But anyway, back to the desk. For each one of these, I'm just going to leave it a natural oil, and I like it for it to be a darker stain, so that it'll complement everything else in the studio. Once the L desk is done, I can actually move in. I don't have to have the guitar wall up to move in. To get all my stuff, all my computers, or one computer, and monitors and speaker monitors and everything else, I got to have that in place. And also, I'm going to get a custom-made piece of wood to make a custom keyboard tray, because I'd like to have an actual MIDI keyboard controller to be the length of that and be the width long enough to where I can hold the keyboard controller in the back and have my regular keyboard on that as well as the mouse. So a lot of stuff to do still. I've got to do a lot of sanding, prepping, all that other stuff. But that's the next thing is I want to do this year, and I'm confident we can do it this year. It's just when. Hopefully, I can do it before the first quarter of this year is over. That's what I'd like to do. So that was the second goal. The third goal that I have, many of you may know that I'm also an author, a writer, whatever you want to call it. Do a lot of writing. And I've been working on a novel for 15, 16 years. Yeah, and it's I've been really wanting to get that out there, and I'd like to start working on. I've written, more than one novel, but this is one that's plagued me for years, trying to get it done because I really want to tell this story. So now I'm finally in the almost final stages of editing. I've done all my edits that I'm going to do, and that's about 7 or 8 drafts. I sent it out to beta readers. Beta readers have went through it. I had about 4 to 5 beta readers. And then, right now I'm plugging those beta reader edits in. I'd like to get that done soon. I'd like to get those beta reader edits done very soon. I don't know if it's going to take a couple months. It might take the whole quarter. I don't know. But after those are done, then I'm going to find and hire a professional editor. And I've got a couple prospects in mind that I'm going to check out so that they can actually go through my novel and help me with that. And then once I get done with those, Jay Hankins, let's read the Bible every day, 2 chapters a day at least. That's a good goal. That is a good goal. I've been trying to get back into my Bible reading a little bit more myself. Great goal, Jay Hankins. Thank you for chiming in on that. Where was I at? What was I talking about? Oh, the editor. Whenever I get the beta reader edits done and hire the editor and get all those edits plugged in, hopefully that won't take a whole lot. Then I'll be able to get the cover designed and then get the book out there. I'm going to self-publish it, and we'll see what happens. And between all of this, as this is going on, what I'd like to do is go ahead and start writing book 2 in the series, because I know there's more that can be told of this story, and I really want to get it out there. So that is my my third goal that I've got listed down here. And what I'm doing right now is, I thought, well, what am I going to do about this? I've got I think I wrote down 8 goals, something like that. I was like, well, how am I going to achieve these? So what I've done is under each goal, I've decided to start writing action steps for them. So Marco's Foley interview, what do I need to do there? Studio, what has to happen here? And this is a lot of stuff. This whole spot right here, and then like half of this page is all stuff that I have to do before I move in. Now some of that is the guitar wall. That doesn't have to be done before I move in, but it would be nice to go ahead and get that as much done before they get a hold of the people who has the wood and get that in motion. Some more ramen. Jay Hankins. I'm being for real. I love serving the Lord, trying to get people saved. Bingo. Been watching a lot of end time stuff lately myself, and I believe things are wrapping up, to be honest with you. We don't have much time to get the lost in there. As they say, get people on the ark. Give me a second, just finish this. It's starting to get cold. So, Jay Hankins, are you a current subscriber, or how did you find out about the stream? Good stuff. Love to get that little flap of skin out. I might hit on something that really hurts. I'm feeling it now. I may have got it, or at least enough to where it won't do that anymore. It'll be awesome. Okay, so check the sound real quick. May have got it. Okay, looks good. All right, so next goal would be what, the fourth goal, I think. Yes, that was the next goal was begin writing book 2, and so that was the next goal. By the way, something that goes amazing with ramen and spaghetti, pasta, you know, big old glass of milk. My goodness, I just ate nothing better with both of those. So yeah, I wanted to start writing book 2, and I use Scrivener and have been for years. So that's the thing I use. If you want to check that out, go to ericbeatty.com/Scrivener. I've also recently purchased Plotter. ericbeatty.com/PLOTTR. Plotter will take you there. And those are affiliate links as well. If you'd like to show your support, please use those to shop with. And I'm actually using Plotter to help me plot some of the scenes and just start brainstorming some of the ideas for book 2. And it's getting pretty exciting because every time I look at book 1 and find these edits and everything, the wheels start turning for things that can happen in book 2. So I'm excited about that. The 5th goal is record, produce, mix, and release my second album. You can find out more about music at ericbeatty.com/music. My main music hub is Bandcamp. So Bandcamp, let's say ericbeatty.bandcamp.com. I think it's where you go. Or you can go to just ericbeatty.com/bandcamp. It'll take you to the same place. Oh, wow. Mike, thanks for the 20. Super thanks. Awesome, dude. Appreciate that. I think that's the first super thanks I've ever gotten. Dude, you're awesome. I appreciate that. It's one of my students. Yeah. So, yeah, thanks so much, Mike. I appreciate it. So, yeah, I've been working on my first album I've had done since about 2021. And I finally got enough, well, I always had enough songs, but I've got enough songs written that I like that I want to put on the second album. And it's going to be another acoustic album, another kind of acoustic gospel album. And I think these songs are even better than the first one. Of course, everybody says that. That's what you want to do, is you want to have a better second album than the first and all that stuff. But I honestly think that these are better. And I've already been programming bass for these. I've got a scratch track laid down, and I've been programming bass using a software called Motobass by IK Multimedia. And it actually has 2 upright bass models that sound like upright basses. And that's what I really want, is to have that bluegrassy, you know, old-timey feel. And so I'm using an upright bass simulator for that in Motobass. So yeah, I've got to get all that stuff recorded, and what I want to do is really start hammering that when I get onto get moved over to the studio. Start really working on that. So then from there, I'll be doing the recording of all the instruments. I will be doing probably all the editing if I need it, and the mixing part. Maybe I might try to find somebody else to mix it. I don't know. It took me a long time to get the first album out because it just took forever to mix these things. It don't take me any time to record the stuff. It's the mixing that gets to me. But maybe I can get that done, hopefully, you know, within a reasonable amount of time. And then after that, it's off to Bandcamp and off to all the music distributors so that I can get that out there. I'm really happy with that album so far. One of these days, hopefully, if the Lord tarries, I'll be able to do some kind of electric album. I've got a ton of electric ideas that I really want to work on too. And maybe those, every now and then, those can happen and I can get some more singles released. I think I only had like 1 or 2 singles last year, and one of them was At the Threshold of Victory, which is also here on YouTube. So let's see. Next up is one of my favorite treats that my mother used to always get us for Christmas. And she passed away in 2019, just before, well, not just before, it was like 2 weeks after Mother's Day, before all the COVID and all that stuff hit. And she used to give these every year. She would give these to us in our stockings, and that is Reasons. Love these candies. These are amazing. So after a good bowl of ramen, to go along with the milk that you had with the ramen, chocolate and milk. Hey, that's like peanut butter jelly. They're made for each other, right? And I've got several of those down here to keep me company. So the next goal, next goal is to record and perform covers on YouTube. Now, that brings me back to Marco, where I talked about at the very beginning, get another interview with Marco going. I've been working on, well, 3 of his songs for the last maybe 2 years now. And I want to learn more. And I'm taking too long to get these done because I'm a perfectionist and I want to get them done up to speed. But I think what I'm going to have to do is to be able to perform these on YouTube and make covers of these like I'd like to do. I'm going to have to actually slow them down to a speed I can manage. Because all the way up to speed is tough on some of these licks, are really tough. And right now I've actually started recording the reaction. And I'm recording it up to speed. And it's very tough. Some of those licks are just like impossible. And so I'm trying to get those up to speed, and I'd like to get those done really quick so that I could actually do a performance video of these and get those done and actually have a cover video out here on YouTube. And the other 2 songs I've been working on, the first one I started with was Still Hurts. The second one was Sunset Lights. And this third one is The Reaction. And so I've been working on those. The next one I want to work on, I've got a whole list of them. But the next one I really want to start on is Corrosion from his Homeland album, his 3rd album. And I really want to start on that. So I've really got to get on the ball with this. But the good thing is, after spending all this time on these songs, I've learned a whole lot. And my hands could do a lot more than they used to. Because when I was growing up, I just got in this whole plateau and this rut thing of just playing in boxes, playing in the same spots, playing in the same licks. But now I can find myself kind of meandering over the fretboard and knowing where I'm at a little bit better based on a lot of these songs I've learned. And I'll tell you, if you want to get something done this year, make a project out of it. When I actually made a project out of this and started recording it, and I think I did a video of this, I may have posted it. If not, let me just go ahead and pull this up for you so you can see what I've been working on. Is that open? There we go. Let me pull that up. I'll just go ahead and move my ramen noodle bowl here. Give you an idea what's going on when I load this. By recording this and trying to document and record right now, just one. Just get the easy parts out of the way. Those parts I was struggling with, like it took me 5. These are the sections. That was like eye-opening. Visual person to see. I was automatically able to see, giving me the most issues. After I recorded the rest of it, is just go back and work on these licks, and that gives me a goal. I get that project that I created. Let me just share my screen with you real quick. Can you see? Is it the wrong place? Yeah, it's the wrong place. Okay, give me a second. Go back to this screen. Go back to this screen. And let's do the main display. Okay. I use Traction Waveform, and that's my DAW of choice. So I've been using it forever. If you go to ericbeatty.com/traction, TRACKTION, that'll take you to the website. A lot of good stuff. So let's see. Let me go here. Covers, the reaction. Wow, that's a lot of takes. So I'm using my Helix, Helix LT, but I've also got Helix Native loaded in case I want to reamp or do some other things, and I'll probably end up having to do that. I'm actually using the preset that I created based on Marco's specifications in the interview that I did with him. And that's over at ericbeatty.com/Helix presets. Okay, you're probably seeing a pattern here. There's a lot of stuff I have available. So yeah, if you go to ericbeatty.com/store, that'll take you to all that stuff as well. So here's what I've done. I have, this is the actual jam track. Wait a minute. The reaction cover. why that's labeled what that is. Oh, I know why. Because this is a template of something else I made. This is the actual official backing track from JTC that came with the album Remarkable. It's his second album, and I bought the whole deal. I bought the album, the backing tracks, the tabs, everything. So the backing track came with it, and I'm using it to play along with. But as you can see, let me just zoom out to the main view here. We've got my rhythm stuff. We've got the main lead, which obviously took a lot of takes here to get done. And then I've got some fills here that I've still got one more. I think this last one I'm going to work on. But basically what has happened here is these over here, these are my overdubs. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 licks that I was having problems with. I've already gotten 2 of those out of the way. So I've re-recorded those and they're ready to go. And so now I've got 5 left to work on. This one, I think it's this one, is probably the worst of all. It's a beast. I've been working on that one like crazy. And so what I'll do is when I get these down to where I get them good enough, I'll go back, sit down here while it's fresh, usually after a practice session, and start re-recording them as best as I can. Then I'll color that green onto the next one. So this is a nice overview of what I can work towards that will give me a sense of direction, something to work towards, a goal. And so yeah, I mean, I really recommend if you want to achieve a goal this year, make a project out of it, just like this. But the good thing about this is even though this is not original music, I'm making music. I'm in my DAW, I'm playing around, recording things, and that's what I love to do. And so I really need to get back to this. If I'm not going to write my own stuff lately, then I've got to start doing some covers. And I've got all kinds of covers that I'd like to do that I've learned over the years. Some Joe Satriani covers, and some more as I continue on learning more. And it's only beneficial for you to learn other people's stuff anyway, because you're going to learn other things that your fingers never did before. All right, so let me go back to main screen here. Save that. Okay, so that's the other thing is get the blah blah blah. Some Joe Satriani covers, and okay, hopefully, I don't know, I'm getting some kind of error here. Hopefully, my stream's healthy. Okay, so the next goal, I've got 2 more. One of which relates to the last one I just did. That is learn 3 to 6 new Marco songs. I've got 2 in mind already, the next 2 that I want to learn. The first one, as I said earlier, was Corrosion from his Homeland album. And for right now, the second one I'd like to learn is Oogly World from his latest album, Welcome to Oogly World. He actually said, I think in the liner notes, or the tab notes, that this is, he considered this a reaction sequel. Reaction Part 2, Reaction 2, or whatever. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I want to learn 3 to 6 new Marcos Foley songs, and I specifically put that number because I want to be able to kind of see and be specific about it, and so I can kind of start moving towards that quicker and not spending so much time on these songs and trying to get them up to speed, because that's the main thing that's holding me back is I want to get them up to speed, and that's not happening. And so my perfectionistic mind thinks, I can't move on to the next one until I get this up to speed. I won't learn it all the way correctly, or I won't be able to perform it. And so what I need to do is, for lack of a better way of saying this, I need to dumb it down to my level and slow the track down so that I can actually do a cover at 80% BPM or whatever. There's no shame in that. And I think that would be something good to do on YouTube, you know, to show people, hey, You don't have to be perfect. There's so much of that junk going on right now on Instagram and YouTube where everybody has the perfect take, and nobody ever realizes. I didn't realize that microphone was in my shot. Nobody realizes that it took them 20 takes to do that. You know, just like you saw on the screen just now. Look at all the different takes and all the different overdubs I had to do to get it to sound the way I wanted to. And there's even more I'd like to do, but I could tweak endlessly. I just need to at some point get it out there. And I think it will be good to have people see that you don't have to perform things at the same level the people who originally wrote it performed it. Because, I mean, they're them. They wrote it. They know it inside and out. So, that's my spiel on that. And then the last goal I've written down here is learn another 100 ASL signs and full phrases and sentences. Now, ASL is American Sign Language. And ever since my son was born, 2.5 years ago, I've been teaching him sign language, and he knows about at least 20 signs that I know of, and he's very vocal with those. He's just now finally starting to talk, but he's been doing signs ever since, he was really small. But I myself want to learn more, and I actually bought a course on Udemy for sign language, and I have not even looked at it since I bought it 3 months ago, at least. I've just been so wrapped up in all this other stuff. So I want to really make that a priority. Sit down and learn some more signs as well as converse. Maybe a little bit, do a few sentences. Because I think that's really neat. It's a visual language. I'm a visual person. And it's really cool to be able to talk to people, using sign language. So I myself have probably learned about 100 signs, but I don't have any sentences or anything like that. So I'd like to be able to dialogue by the end of this year in sign language. I need to be more fluent in it. I need to actually make the time. That's the problem. What have I said? How many goals was that? I think, like I said earlier, I think it looked like it was about 8. 4, 8. Yeah, that's 8 goals. It takes time to do all this stuff. And that's the problem. Trying to work all this stuff in, squeeze it all in between my regular work. It's hard to do, but it's something I want to do. Thanks for sharing, Tamalo. Oh, no problem. I enjoy doing this. I like to do more talking head videos. But yeah, this is good for me to be able to just sit here and just kind of process this. I do a lot of processing by talking it out, so nothing wrong with that. But yeah, so that's what I want to do is do all those goals, get those done by the end of this year, especially moving to that studio. I'm really, really wanting to do that. So, all right. So, what do you think about my background? I just put it up today. I got this in the mail not too long ago. It's just some sheets that I've strung together here. It was messing with my camera and really overexposing my face because the background is so dark. I kind of probably need some lights under here, but it is what it is. I've got the one in the back here. It doesn't really do anything though, so I just leave it off. I'll tell you what, I can probably put some blue there to kind of match it. So that's really all I had tonight. Was I wanted to share these goals, wanted to share some ramen recipes with you, share some of the things that I like, reasons and whoppers, different things like that, different things I've been working on. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had. I think I'll get on here and noodle around the guitar just for a little bit before I leave. I've really been enjoying the power coil tap setting on this AZ guitar. Has a really nice kind of what's the word? Really nice stratty kind of sound to it. Get some delay on here. And some more verb. Thanks, Tomorrow. I like this reverb on the Helix. It's a particle verb. Particle, right? Yep. Let's get a little more mix in there. About 40%. Isn't that beautiful? Particle verb. Really cool sounding reverb. Glitz. Okay. Yeah, this is just fun sitting here and playing. I love just playing and different things like that. Thanks to Malo and Jay Hankins for coming on tonight, and thanks to Mike for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Really, really do. That'll buy me a few coffees at Starbucks. I love some coffee. Love me some coffee. Yeah, I appreciate that, Mike. I really do. But I think I'm going to get off here now and probably just take the rest of the night to watch some YouTube stuff. I mean, I like watching YouTube too, right? You know. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Hopefully you can use this in the new year to kind of set some goals for yourself. Don't be afraid to write things down. Get yourself a notebook and start trying that this year. I think that'll be a really good help to you. Whether it be guitar stuff, you can write down your guitar practice logs, goals you want to achieve, different steps on how to do that. I mentioned the bullet journal earlier. Go to the bullet journal or bulletjournal.com and I think they have a book called The Bullet Journal Method, and they've got all kinds of tutorial videos and all kinds of great stuff if you want to try to start journaling this year, your goals and different things like that. Really good resource. Good show, brother. Thank you, Tamalo. I appreciate it. But yeah, hopefully that'll help you out. And yeah, feel free to comment on the video below on your favorite ramen recipes and your favorite style of ramen, if that floats your boats, or maybe some of your favorite snacks as a kid. And I guess I'll get off here and hopefully maybe do another live stream pretty soon, because sometimes I just want to get on here and just play. And I just think to myself, once again, that perfectionistic inside critic always thinks, oh, you can't just do that. You got to have some kind of topic to talk about, or you got to have, it's got to be meaningful. Nobody's going to watch you if you just get on there and play. Well, they might. You never know. But it helps me to play and practice and things like that. So thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys on the next video. And when you leave here, feel free to browse around, look at some of my playlists and some other videos. I've got over 1,000 here on YouTube, so there's probably something that you can find that will entertain you. All right, we'll see you all next time, and I'm going to go ahead and get off here. Appreciate it. You guys have a great night. God bless, and as always, don't forget, keep creating.